Hello and welcome back to Team Fortress TV. We're still here covering the AsiaFortress Cup Season 7 semi-finals. We're going to be watching the first match here. It's Ji against For Freak's Sake. I'm joined by Yuki and shounic. We got John on the camera as well. We have settled on a server right now. And earlier I was just asking shounic about these teams to run me through the roster, so I'm going to let you go for it again, buddy. We'll get some sort of continuity going here.
Okay, so FFS, on Scout we got Artisan, which is normally known as Cactus, and Sensins, which most of us recognize him as Krabby Patty. And for our soldiers we got TJ and Destiny, that's their usual names, and on Medic we have Joe and Cute Man on Demo. But I would say this team is definitely the underdog. They haven't been playing as long as the top 3 teams we have in the semifinals. But I would still say they're quite a good team.
Tell me about Ji then.
Alright, so Ji we have Fex, one of the crazier scouts of Asia on Scout, and HSK also on Scout. We also have Babel and Creep on Soldier. Babel is quite well known for being one of the best pockets we have in Asia, and OPD on Demo, famous for his pretty crazy frag video by, I forgot who it was actually. Should have done my homework.
John should have done some
on
homework.
Medic we have HMOC, and I think that's not live actually. Live is in Spectator, so I guess they're not using their famous all-star Medic today, which
Any
might
reason
affect the
behind that?
performance. I would guess it might be ping. They've been jumping around the servers a lot, and I guess I just found this to be the best middle ground for both teams.
Yeah, looking at the pings, they seem quite fair. There's nobody is usually the unplayable amount, or 120 and stuff. I don't know. Yuki, what
Yeah,
insight
120
can
is
you offer
usually
me on these
unplayable.
teams as well? Or
The
is
only
Yuki?
thing I can remember is what things that my team said, and that was along the lines of OPD OP. So expect him to do some big plays because he's an extremely aggressive demo man. Like he's just gonna literally hold W to the power of 27 and just sticky your whole team. So the problem is if he doesn't do his damage, then his team's gonna be down a demo man, and I wouldn't be surprised to see FFS take advantage of that. But we'll have to see what happens in the game, really.
I had Veethoofd from whitelist.tf messaging me that just letting me know that the unlocks in AsiaFortress are pretty much the same as Europe as of last season, but
Yep.
they don't allow the overdose, the needle gun that makes you run a bit faster, and they do allow the amputator, so it's going to be fairly standard in terms of unlocks, nothing you haven't seen before really, and I am ready to go live, shounic, if you want to let the people of Asia know that it's time to begin, it's time to get nasty.
Okay.
Maybe we can get things underway. We'll just ask, who are you going to predict to win this first map, Badlands? shounic, tell me.
Oh man. Well, you know, Badlands has been played a lot in Asia. It's been pretty much the go-to map for our pugs, so I don't know, I think MEJ being the favorites, you know, considering that they've been playing a lot longer than FFS together as a team. I think I would favor MEJ, but I definitely wouldn't count FFS out.
And Yuki, who you feeling today?
MEJ 6-1.
Wow,
It's win difference 5, isn't it?
That's a good question.
Well, we'll see.
I'm pretty sure
We'll
it
see.
is, unless they change it. We'll have to see what happens.
Euro
You can
rules,
call
yeah.
the rollout.
Alright, we're going
Alex.
live.
My
We
body
have
is
got-
ready.
We have gone live here
Central voice.
for the first AsiaFortress Cup Season 7 semi-final map 1 between FFS and MEJ. I'm watching Cute Man roll out of the house. He's coming out. Basher's got a few stickies on the door, but his opposite number, OPD, just spamming stickies towards that train, trying to do damage onto the combo as they come out of house. There's a lot of action going on the shit house though. HSK is going to take down Artisan, and Babel will find TJ, and this is looking bad for FFS as they are 3 down. They have managed to keep their medic Joe alive, but he's under pressure. He's going to escape on 15 HP. Yuki, what did you see on that middle?
I saw OPD just take command of that rollout entirely. He just sticky the slope as FFS were all walking up, and it just did a huge amount of damage as they walked up. And the cleanup came in by his aggressive soldiers from the valley area and also his scouts cleanup, and that led to his team winning the rollout. So well played by MEJ. As we're going to see Fex brawling this soldier at the restart. He's not going to get the kill though, he's going to get out easily. But meanwhile, Cute Man with a nice sticky trap kill on Babel, we're going to buy some time. But who knows, maybe we'll see some util coming in now that both teams have even Ubers and FFS defending last point.
You called it, man. They've got a big sentry out here. SNS playing that engineer. He's just got a level 1 up here. He's moving it slightly forward, wants to fine tune that position before he upgrades it, it seems, but both teams happy to stand off here for a few seconds and try and figure out what's going to happen, because Fex has gone sniper and he's going to be coming down onto this main area. No, he's actually going to go up top. He's going to try and snipe across top left, maybe top right. Let's see if he can get that pick.
Yeah, looking for a pick on the pocket soldier there, but nice pick to get the sentry without any losses, and there's the pick on the pocket soldiers. That's going to cue the push. In comes in OPD and the soldier in the top left. Not really much happening there. It's just a bit of spam battles happening right now. Uber has been using FFS, and there's a bit of a bait going on towards the point. Creep's going to get taken down here on this top right area in just a moment. Not before he gets a nice kill. High ground taken by MEJ, and that's the end of that chapter. Just well done by them to just brawl in there with that player advantage, force Uber a scrappy fight, and then just keep the high ground and just destroy FFS, leading to that round wins.
Yeah, forced them onto the low ground, onto the point there, and nobody took account for Fex because they were at that man disadvantage, and he just had free reign to pop off lots of headshots there. We're going to see a Valley rollout here from FFS. They're going to mix it up already. They're going to move up to the Mukunji shithouse area. They're going to just trade sides here, taking control of each other's trade. And the first bomb in though comes in from Creep, who's super weak, down to 50 HP. He's going to go down, and OPD is down to Artisan. This is now looking like a role reversal here on this middle. It could even be a wipe. Oh wow, MEJ getting chased. MEJ getting chased all the way down. Fex, the only man alive, and he will escape to the red side here. Yuki, that was a bit crazy.
Yeah, as I said, when OPD doesn't do his damage, that's pretty much when MEJ crumble. That's what happens with practically OPD only team. And he's trying to do some work on this spy point here, but he's not really going to have much luck, and he's going to hold forward for now. Meanwhile, there is a sentry going up on that last point, so he's going to buy a bit of time. But 90% Uber advantage for FFS. They have plenty of time to just walk into this lobby area and push into this last point, as OPD has left that lobby area. So we're going to see them probably pushing in the next 10 seconds. But they've got to be careful of that defensive pyro, which is known to cause havoc with Ubers.
Yeah, looks like OPD's got all the stickies on the point. There will be no entry traps here at least, but that doesn't mean that FFS won't just pop that Uber anyway. They are going to lead in with the charge from lower. Soldier jumps top right and finds a sentry. Destiny's going to be able to take down that dispenser with the little help. And SNS now rushing the point. They're trying to get bodies on here before they've gotten the frags, and this is probably a little bit unwise from FFS. Only Destiny remains alive, and it looks like he's going to get focused down. Maybe he can trade. Gets 8-walk there, the medic, and that is probably best case scenario from what was a car crash push there.
Yeah, definitely. They just salvaged what they could out of that bad situation. They just decided to go balls out for the point, but they lost 2 players before they even got any time on it, really. And when you've done that with Uber, you just are down players, and that just means your Uber's going to do nothing. So we have to see a bit of a reset here, as looks like MEJ do have that spire point now, so they're going to be defending that and awaiting the incoming FFS push. No crits on either side, so no exciting crit stickies, unfortunately. It's a bit disappointing, but we're going to have to see what FFS do here to push. Maybe if they bomb a soldier, try and get a force, maybe run a util. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, there's really no sense in being too proud to fall back when your Uber's failed. Keep an eye on that scoreboard as you go in, watch those kill notices, and if it's going bad early, just get out of there, man. But they went for it and it didn't happen. Right now they're going to try and make a play on the flank here. FFS still in control of that midpoint. Oh, and there's actually some spam coming in from behind. This might be a little bit of bait action here. FFS trying to draw out some of those MEJ players, but now MEJ are all blobbed up here on the stone bridge. They've actually managed to force off the FFS Uber, and the counter Uber is going to come in here. Joe's already weak when his charge fades. He's going to be very low, but he does run off, and he's going to have to leave most of his team to die, or at least fend for themselves there. FFS now 2 players alive to the 5 of MEJ, who will stream forward. Now there is a sticky trap here though from Cute Man. He's going to try and get some cheap frags, but the scouts are wise to his ploy. They're going to spot that one out, Yuki.
Yeah, no, the idea was there from FFS. They just wanted to get behind, cause a grisly fight, and then try and split the other team up a bit, get some high ground, try and get some frags. But it didn't work out too well for them, unfortunately, as the execution wasn't quite there. So we're going to see MEJ just pressuring through this resub area for now. Their roamer is in pretty deep. Actually, no, excuse me, that's their pocket. He's going to get caught out in just a moment. No, he does get away by the skin of his teeth on about 30 hit points. And the rest of MEJ, meanwhile, is trying to ball around the choke, so a bit of miscommunication here as the players are pretty low. But FFS are just giving them all the ground they want. They're sitting in that trash area, not really trying to take much ground. And TJ is going to get taken down just a moment on 10 hit points, but nice work by that medic to heal him there. And just a bit of a stalemate fest right now, just a bit of a spam battle. Have to see who gets the better end of it.
Yeah, both medics with that full charge. Here comes the bomb in. Oh, big air shot onto Creep, denied. But he does get that foresight, and he will be happy enough with that, even though he got slightly humiliated there. Now this Uber is about to fade for Joe, as HMOX just gets popped off, and they're going to try and stream forward, but they've managed to pick up 2 frags for that. Importantly, they got Cute Man, the demo here. Artisan's gone down as well, aka Spiky Cactus. And now OPD is taking up this high ground. He's raining down sticky death here onto the remaining blue players, and Destiny pays for it with his life. Joe's going to back off there with Since. That's a tough one to pronounce. And they will begin to build Uber again. They're at a slight disadvantage, but the demo man, Cute Man, has respawned, so that we will able to put the brakes on. Wow, I shouldn't cast so early in the morning, Yuki.
Citizens with a nice pick there on OPD. I wonder if this is actually QFS oppression a bit there, because it looks like they're poking through this top lobby area, but not really much happening from that. They still want to try and use this. Yeah, this is the way. Q-Man's poking in a bit, but no, they're not going to commit to it, considering the other team's down to Demo Man. I guess they must know that they have a slight Uber disadvantage, and they don't want to get caught off guard by MEJ. But this Demo Man's going to get caught off. Oh my god, Q-Man does get taken down far too aggressive by him. Scout for a Demo Man trade, take any day. It's just going to be a lot easier for MEJ to pressure that point.
Here comes going to lead with the Scout Uber up top. Just a single Scout Uber here. He does enough damage to force, and his medic will be able to escape because he used that full 8 seconds without flashing, and that draws players away. FFS bait it into a push with a heavy, too slow to block the point. The rush came in bottom left on the defender's perspective, and they lost the point there. That's going to be 2-0 after FFS looked like they were coming back into the game, Yuki.
Yeah, it looks like the single Scout Uber was just to distract the rest of the team. Meanwhile, the rest of MEJ just piled in on the flank. We're gonna have this. I'm gonna follow OPD on this rollout. He's just doing a bit of spam now. There's not really anything too much happening. Not really that much damage to put out. He's just playing pretty defensively in this valley. Meanwhile, FFS has taken MEJ's train. Aggressive jump coming in. Meanwhile, Creep does get a kill on Creep Man and Demo Man. So player advantage is in the hands of MEJ, who, despite having a medic down, have extreme health and player advantage. So they're going to be able to wipe FFS probably in the next couple of seconds, as we're about to see Destiny fall down in this valley area. Trying for a heroic play, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, both teams just sort of staring each other out there across the Badlands middle, and it was really interesting, and just to watch how MEJ just waited down in valley, trying to see if anybody from FFS would jump in and give him a free pick, but nobody did. There was a lot of composure on both sides. It was actually a big play from Creep to get that Cute Man pick that seemed to just snowball things out of control for them. Now, 4th point has been taken there by the red team. That is Muk-un-ji. Love my pronunciation. And right now there is a slight Uber advantage here for HMOC, and both medics still running that normal charge. No crits Krieg yet. I'm calling it out. I want them to use that. Love that crits Krieg, especially on a Sunday afternoon. What time is it with you, Yuki?
It's a fine 11 PM, so perfect time for crits Krieg, I think. And it's funny you say that, surprisingly, because OPD being a pretty good demo man is usually given quite a few crits Krieg, but we're going to have to see MEJ doing a bit of pressure here. They're not really trying to push this advantage. They're a bit worried that they don't have as big as an advantage they do, and they did have about 30%, so there was ample time to get some good damage onto FFS, maybe back out if it goes poor. But here we go, they're now coming through this top left, but FFS should get this Uber off just in time. Joe is stuck in spawn, but does get the Uber off in time. Sensense does get onto the point to defend that from HSK capping it. And a lot of players on FFS just taking so much damage from OPD, the artillery just raining hell down on them. And he's on full health and full ammo, coming in just a moment, and that's going to be the end of that chapter. TJ going for the play, but not going to happen, and that brings us 3-0.
Wow, I'm surprised it worked out that way. It seemed like with HSK dying first, the frags were going to come in favour of FFS, but so much damage coming in from OPD. Does it actually stand for an overpowered demo man? What the hell? And right now, Cute Man is coming out of the house, having picked up the kit. OPD again rolling out from balcony. He just seems to favour this. Like you say, he can't control the slope there. The scouts of FFS trying to get a little bit of time on the point and not really getting pressured out too much. There comes the bomb though from Creep again. Creep seems to be getting his man every time in middle. This time he gets Joe the medic. Destiny's going to follow him in quick succession. And now it turns into a 3-on-3 melee, but the health is not great. Kitman is on 12 HP. He's going to get shotgunned down by Babel, who flies in there for that demo man pick. The scouts remain alive, and this is a dangerous situation when you've got 2 scouts up. There can be plenty of opportunity for distraction and maybe just sacrificing for that medic pick, but they have gone back to get health, and they're not going to be suiciding here. They're going to keep 6 up, and maybe that's the even smarter move.
Yeah, it's definitely wise keeping the 6 players up, especially when the other team's spawns are so close to just coming up at the same time, so it's better to keep those players and try and defend spies. But it looks like MEJ pushing in through this resup area with OPD the demo man. Meanwhile, Scout's got behind me, he does get picked up, nice work by Cute Man. This should at least stall MEJ for about 20 seconds, as they also have a few low players, so FFS getting a good advantage out of that. But no, MEG not letting up with this, otherwise they look like they're pushing onto this gray bridge area hard and fast.
Yeah, they've already lost the scout. It could be tough to cap this, but the fact they do have that uber advantage is going to make FFS quite scared. FFS going to get the force out though. TJ jumps in and will pay for it with his life. But with charge coming up in 90 seconds and only *2 on the point, there is a real window here for FFS to block this if they want, but they seem to be going to just back off here and allow MEJ to come forward and try and hide themselves. OPD goes ham for the point there, and he gets punished. What was going through his head right there, Yuki? I
swear that looked like a Cadus playtime stand. I swear Cadus would do something like that, but as I said, OPD is like the Asian case. But we're going to have to see FFS pushing out through this grey bridge area by looks of things with the uber advantage, and that's good because Demoman down, there's no way he's going to be stickies there. Meanwhile, Creep is behind. He's going to be trying to contest this Scout and Spy, but he is quick to get out. But
there's a back cap
time all over for FFS somewhere else. The back cap, is it going to happen? Is this real life?
Oh
my... Well, that's just anticlimactic. Come on, HSK. Where is your honor?
He was just hiding up there, and there was 2 players sort of hiding above the door, and HSK dropped down and then went through the window and all the way to last, and the FFS left nobody there to defend. It was a easy cap, but just nipple hairs of a difference. They managed to get it, and looks like Cuteman's going to take a much more aggressive stance on middle here and try and do damage onto OPD, but now he's feeling the pressure here, and Joe's gone down already to Creep, who will go down to Destiny, the pocket in exchange. And again, the heal advantage coming into play here for HMOC staying alive, and FFS going to respect that and back off and wait for the medic to respawn. I think it is win difference 5, so that this round could be the one to end Badlands. There's only 16 minutes left on the clock right here, Yuki. What do FFS need to do to stay in this game?
Well, they're going to have to do some big plays to defend this last point with a 75% uber disadvantage. Maybe try and go for some miracle pick here, but they need some defensive classes fast. Looks like there's a double scout uber coming in through the high left. Gonna try and kill that pyro, and they're missing a lot. The pyro's actually buying a huge amount of time. Pyro does get taken down. This scout does just come and reckon. That's Vex with the 3 kill. He's gonna get on the point, try and destroy that heavy. And that's the end of that chapter. FFS loses the round and the map, and that's 5-0. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. That's the map end, and wow, that was... despite the scores, it did seem pretty close in a lot of moments. FFS had a good... Was it the second... Yeah, the second round was pretty good for FFS, and then after that they just seemed to, run out of ideas and just kind of autopiloted a bit. Unfortunate, because they did have some signs of promise earlier in the game.
Yeah, just looking at the scoreboard, it's always cheating, I suppose, but Fate and HSK really stepping up for the scouts. So I suppose that can be the way it is when it's a 5-0, you get all those cap points and stuff. But OPD didn't seem to come into the game as much. The scouts really representing there, I think, for MEJ. Maybe we're going to see less of that in Granary. It's a bit more of a soldier map, some would say.